I'm from the great country of Zambia, and I'm a fifth-year medical student in Azerbaijan. So the great thing with the meta-analysis is that you don't have to be there in person with anyone, with your team. You meet the great people from across the world, and you have a team, you have a deadline, and you just have 2 hours of every day, and you keep pushing, and you just have to put in the work. Of course, there's always someone who knows something that you don't know. So most of these are from India, Poland, Germany, Italy, UK. We submitted it right on time, presented it. Yes.
Where that was last year or this year?
April this
April this year.
Yeah,
April. That was in Chicago.
They just called me and said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this country called Azerbaijan?" So I was like, oh, "Can you say that again?" Yeah,
and
they
started
said, any dream is not too big, nothing is too intimidating. Thank you for having me, Dr. Anderson. I had to say it's a great pleasure to be with you here. I mean, I watch your podcast almost every day, every time you have an episode, and I wouldn't have dreamt that I would be one of them.
Yeah. Well, you've worked really hard for it. Congratulations. You know, guys, in this podcast, in MetaCast, we share successful career stories of our students, of international doctors, medical students, and Kangwa has a great success story too. I'm going to ask him to introduce himself in a little bit. Just before that, just a quick reminder that MetaCast and the Meta-Analysis Academy are not affiliated with the institutions where we work. The opinions here are our own. And also throughout this podcast, we're going to talk a lot about research and how it's tough to do research internationally in countries like Azerbaijan and others in the world. And Kangwa is a really successful example of what the Meta-Analysis Academy can do and open doors in your careers in research. So I also want to invite everyone to subscribe to our channel, to hit that like button, and to join the wait list of the Meta-Analysis Academy so you can learn how to publish really impactful papers with autonomy. Kangwa, great to have you on. Can you start with a quick introduction? Where are you from originally?
So I'm from the great country of Zambia.
Very nice.
And I'm a fifth-year medical student in Azerbaijan. Of course, I'd like to thank also to recognize the support of my family and my friends who've always supported me throughout my career and throughout my medical journey.
Amazing. Yeah. Let's talk about a life in Zambia before medical school.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up? And then why did you decide to go into medical school and pursue this career?
Right. So life in Zambia is usually most students, pupils, we call them like that. Just from high school, we want to go to university or college, as it's called here. But mostly people don't know about opportunities away from Zambia that are in the US, or how to go explore more of their careers
abroad.
So abroad, yeah. So I personally. From high school and my friend, we started looking up how to expand and how best we can advance. Of course, I had a detective kind of approach in my life. I like to learn things and discover things more about the body, and so I thought medicine was like something that I can do. And of course, it's investigative. I like to know insights about people and, reading between the lines and figure out something. So that was great for why I had to choose medicine. It's a funny story, actually. When I was applying to schools, I thought it wouldn't work out in medical schools, because my applications were not going through. And I thought I should change careers. And I had started because I had taken a gap year, and that's how most students do back in my country. We take a year off and try to explore options, career options, or apply to universities and schools like that. So when things were not very well for medicine, I thought I wouldn't go in. But I had submitted an application initially right after leaving high school, and that was the application for Azerbaijan. For China. I was applying to go to China,
yeah,
right?
For medical school.
For medical school, yeah. So when that didn't work out, I was called up for interviews, but didn't work out. And then later on, they called me. The government called me that, hey, would you like to go to Azerbaijan?
The government of Azerbaijan or of Zambia?
So the government of Azerbaijan reached out to Zambia, and they wanted 2 students that would be sent to Azerbaijan.
Let me take a step back. Like, what's the reason for leaving Zambia? Like,
Right.
is it financial, quality of training? Like, what motivated you to seek an abroad opportunity?
It's a little bit of both. Financial, of course, I come from a huge family, so I didn't want to burden my parents on more loans and more debts. So I thought I should. It's easier if you get a scholarship. And on my parents.
Are your parents physicians?
And my parent was a teacher. My mother is a teacher.
Very good.
Yeah, but retired as well, and my dad was a pastor, like
Very
preacher.
Good. Okay.
So they did not have the financial capacity. They had a lot of children.
Yeah.
So I just felt I would release that stress of financial burden, and also the quality of education in terms of school fields like medicine, where you need exposure. You need a lot of raw materials to work with, and in the scientific worlds and engineering, those are kind of fields that work well with resources in the school.
Yeah.
So in our schools, in terms of exposure, it's more focused on academics. It does not. Explore more like research, allowing students to diversify and all the kind of good things that you find in different schools. So that's one of the reasons why students like me
go abroad. Okay, very good. And so you applied, multiple countries. It sounds like you applied to China, Azerbaijan, and eventually you got this call. What did they say? Hey, do you want to go to Azerbaijan to study?
So they did, yeah. They just called me and said, hey, have you ever heard of this country called Azerbaijan? So I was like, oh, can you say that again?
Oh, you hadn't applied to Azerbaijan?
And I hadn't applied.
How'd they find you?
So they just shortlisted me. They just said, well, this is one of the top students we have, top applicants. He's already done this before. And they gave an interview. So the interview is supposed to be done from our government, and you send your CV or your written interest to the country
like
of
a personal
Azerbaijan.
statement.
Like a personal statement.
Okay.
And if they like that, they pick you. So even after that, it wasn't straightforward. So we had to first have that come back, and then they accept that.
So they essentially found you, and you started your process. But how did they find you?
So they reached out. In my country, there's a board called Loans and Scholarships Board.
Oh, I see. So they actively look for international students who are really good.
Yeah.
And they called like the Ministry of Education or something like that from these countries. Wow, totally. That's super interesting.
So it happened in a unique way. I would have never thought. And
you had never thought about going to Azerbaijan before. Like this was not on your radar.
True. And most of the scholarships that happen in my country happen on somewhat on a loan basis, where afterwards you return, you have to give back. But in this one, it was more like a grant.
But grant from Azerbaijan or from Zambia?
Yeah, from Azerbaijan. It's like part of Haida Aliyev. There's a grant student thing that happens in Azerbaijan, where member countries across are given those grants for students who they think best. So when you apply, and then that happens.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. So like you went through this interview process, you sent them a personal statement, eventually they told you were accepted.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Azerbaijan.
And then I moved to Azerbaijan, yeah.
That's amazing.
Of course, by then I was in the middle of, actually I had applied to go to my country's medical school, and on a different that was civil engineering, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
so you were between doing civil engineering in Zambia or medical school in Azerbaijan?
Medical school, yeah.
That's funny.
It's like, and I had to rekindle that passion that I almost
Is med school in Azerbaijan 6 years?
So med school in Azerbaijan is 6 years, and the final year is more like internship and those things.
Gotcha. If people are more interested in this global recruitment or of a selection of applicants from Azerbaijan, where can they go? Can people apply to this directly? I mean, our audience is already mostly in medical school, but just in case there's someone who's interested in learning more, where can they go? They just go to the...
There is a website, Haida Aliyev, grant student.
Haida? How does Haida spelled?
Heyder.
Okay, Haida. Okay, good. And so just, I think if people just Google it, they'll find it. Good, excellent. And then med school in Azerbaijan, what's that like?
So it's kind of very different from what I had expected and what I knew about,
so?
And also very different from here. First of all, it's 6 years, and that meant mostly in my country it is 7 years, and somewhat also 6 years. So they compress, of course, the theory, the basic sciences, and the clinical part. So we do everything really fast, really compressed. There's always exams every 2 months, every now and then, and we have like one break, which is on the whole year, which is the summer break. There's only like holidays in between and a gap between exams. That's the only mode of rest. But yeah, it's intense. It's cool. There's a good balance between work life, student, and other extracurricular activities. You can find the time to do other things, do research in my case, so advance, learn more things.
Pardon my ignorance, but is medical school curriculum in English there?
Yes, it is. Good. Well, they offer it in three languages. There's the Russian, Azerbaijan, which is the local, and English. Yeah.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of international people like yourself. They recruit a lot of people from all over the world?
Yes, they do recruit. Mostly the Arab-speaking nations. They're the ones who go there, like Qatar, Dubai, India, and Africans as well. There's more Africans at the school. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned there's this nice work-life balance, or student workload and personal time. And what's it like in terms of like research opportunities? Because the background to this question is a lot of people who listen to us in our audience are folks who are kind of frustrated with like the opportunities that they have for research, whether it's in Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, India, Pakistan, all over the world. Mm-hmm. What's it like in Azerbaijan in terms of opportunities for doing research as a med student?
So it's not really. Med students there do not know how to go around that area. I was of course, I wanted to do research as early as first or second year, but I couldn't find anything that is like internationally recognized or a platform where anyone can tell you how to do it. So they don't really, apart from the school, like a cohort, like something where you just do it locally, you get to present in front of your teachers and peers. Apart from that, there's not really much going on, and it's mostly like professional doctors at the highest level who know about the research opportunities that are global. So
are they accessible? Like, is it easy to work with some of these renowned professors?
Not that great, unless you. It also depends on the kind of research you're gonna do, right? If it's just gonna be a local presentation for a school, it's accessible from the teachers. But if it's something that is more clinical, like a cohort, it has to take something special for you to access that.
Yeah, it's like that everywhere in the world, It takes a long time. The results are uncertain. It's not that easy to find mentors. These are some of the frustrations that people have. Did you try in medical school before you joined the Meta-Analysis Academy? Did you try to do some research?
So I did try. I went around asking my professors if there's anything possible. I have a friend of mine from Botswana. She came recently. She had a great project going on. She wanted to access labs, that can help her. but it was not.
She's in Azerbaijan too.
She's in Zambian too, yeah. So she was interested, as I was, in doing research. I thought we can make something happen. The only thing I knew about research was it takes a while. It's something you do in a lab, constantly with professors. But when we saw it's not that much incentivized, it's not if you're not a top doctor who knows people around, it's really hard for you to do anything as a student. So we got stuck, me and that friend of mine. So we didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's hard. It's hard, especially in your case, too. There's also the fact that you're a foreigner there. I don't know if that plays a role into it. But even removing that factor for med students all over the world, it's really hard to do good research in medical school.
Yeah.
And then you joined the Meta-Analysis Academy. When did you join?
I joined it last year at the beginning of 2024.
Okay.
That was the March.
Yeah, so that was probably our fifth cohort.
Fifth cohort, yeah.
That's great.
The fifth cohort. So I was, I was going through Instagram. It was a funny thing that your video just popped up when I was like wondering, how do you do this research?
Yeah, it's how the social media is spying for sure.
Yeah, and then your video just took, and I saw it, like your video on Facebook, on Instagram. So it was like, who is this? Yeah, so I tried to look up what the Meta-Analysis Academy is, and you had the seminar.
The publication roadmap.
Yeah, the roadmap, yeah. So it was timely, and I thought, well, I can attend that. I can see if this is legit or not. And my friend and I were all thinking about it. And we thought, oh, wow, this would be cool. And all these stories we're hearing, if I learned how to do this, probably this could be an answered prayer.
Yeah, that's incredible. And so it's been a little bit more than a year that you joined. Yeah. And you just recently published a paper in a cardiology journal. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's so... For starters, at first, you see, after completing the work, we were excited. I mean, the cohort. So we made research groups. The people reached out. There's someone with an idea. You want to work on it. You want to learn things that you teach in the academy. You want to do the practical work. So I did a bunch of things before finally publishing, and it was not always a successful story. Unfortunately, there will be we start a project, maybe the first author doesn't completely do it, but then this came around, and one of the ambassadors in the cohort just said, hey, this is a hot topic. I really need someone. Do you think you can do it? Like, wow. Yeah, so it's viable. Everything is done. I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. This might be one.
Nice.
So we started doing it, and we had a deadline because we were submitting to the ACC journal for conference.
Oh, the
abstract.
American College of Cardiology.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You submitted it? You guys submitted it?
We submitted it right on time. Presented it, yes.
Where, that was last year? Or this year?
April this year.
April this year.
Yeah,
April. That was in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. Yeah.
American College of Cardiology. I was there. It was a fun conference.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So this is pretty neat. And you mentioned something that I want to highlight, which is that there were setbacks. I don't want people listening to this or when we do the webinar to realize, to think that it's easy. Like there are definitely struggles. Like finding an idea is not always easy. Yeah. Sometimes you have an idea, it's not viable, the projects don't move forward. But at the end of the day, you have an abstract presented at one of the top cardiology conferences in the world. You have a publication, a really great journal in cardiology.
Yeah.
And you're a medical student in Azerbaijan. It's pretty amazing that it's accessible, that people from all over the world can jump in and do research at this level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you explain to folks a little bit why meta-analysis allow you to do that? Like, why is it that, you're from Azerbaijan and you're able to publish papers like this in the context of doing a meta-analysis?
Right. So the great thing with the meta-analysis is that you don't have to be there in person with anyone, with your team. You meet the great people from across the world, and they are on their laptop. They tell you, I just need to find this article, I need to read through this, and you have a team, you have a deadline, and you just have 2 hours of every day, and you keep pushing, and you just have to put in the work. Of course, it's not always going to be smooth. You find challenges, but you work around them, and there's always someone who knows something that you don't know. That's the great part of it all, and I think everyone is that has done a meta-analysis knows that there's usually the smooth ones, there's usually one that just you don't know how to find the statistics, or it's not making sense, this author in this article that you have did not include something. So there are those setbacks, but however they're always, you can work around them as long as the idea is viable.
Yeah. I want to emphasize this point to folks because it's such a core concept of what we do and how we help our students, is that when you do a meta-analysis, the data that you're using are not data from Azerbaijan. They're not data from Zambia. They're data from all over the world. So you could be a medical student in Zambia, in Azerbaijan, in Colombia, in Chile, wherever, and you would do the same type of research. You would access data from all over the world, and you would put that data together to generate a new idea, a new project, a new publication. So that's a beautiful example of what can be done with a meta-analysis, and I congratulate you on that. You said you worked with a team on this, Kangwa. Where are these folks from?
So most of these are from India, and sometimes you think, wow, you're working with one of the best. They're medical students. They're already, some of them are professors. There's one from India. There's one from, where is Paweł from?
It's Poland.
Poland, Poland. Others are from Germany. And it's a diverse, Italy as well. There's UK. So
these are people from all over the world.
All over the world, and you have...
That's the beauty of the Meta-Analysis Academy, is that you guys can connect with people from, like, everywhere. That's amazing.
That was incredible, and they all have different experiences, and they all have the same goals.
You did so well in the program, you became a teaching assistant, and then you even evolved to a supervisor. Can you explain to folks the role of a teaching assistant? How was your experience as a TA?
So as a student, there's that point where you're so much involved in the academy and your tutoring sessions and all those things. Every Sunday you're looking forward to that. And then at the end of the cohort, you're like, oh no, this is the end, and am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to stay in touch with these top professionals? And then there was the offers where if you want to be a part of be an ambassador, you did advertise. The role of teaching assistant was attractive at first for me, but I was feeling like I couldn't do it. Like I don't think I know much to teach, really. So I thought
it's an imposter syndrome.
I thought, how well can I show someone when I don't really know the concepts to the core? However, I received an email from Douglas, one of our directors of education, saying, hey, would you like to schedule a meeting? I saw your exercises were really great, and of course I stayed consistent with submitting the exercise and make sure I tried my best to learn from it. And he said, your exercises were really wonderful. So I was surprised, like, wow. I was always, there's this thing you do about the Hall of Fame. So I only appeared there twice, and it was towards the end.
The Hall of Fame. Yeah. So to those of you who don't know, the Hall of Fame is the list of our students every week on the program who do extraordinarily well. And then Kangwa, you were in the Hall of Fame twice. That's a big deal. You said you only appeared twice, but that's awesome.
So I didn't even know that my exercises were actually something, as you say, that makes the TA's heartbeat skip. So, and Douglas offered it, and I thought, they were so supportive. I thought, because I know you would do great. We'll teach you everything you need to know. We support you throughout. There's a team. Everyone is new to the role, and trying something that is like unknown, that is not familiar, is encouraged, because it landed me into seeing people that are really awesome, and ambassadors. And eventually from the TA role, that went well because it was all about time management, seeing everything happen in 1 week. You have to do so. It was also helpful because of the way I manage my time and prioritize. There's usually medical students, you feel like there's no time, but there's always time for something that is important. So yeah, that was great in balancing work, life, and medical student. So that was as well. At the end of the TRO as well, I didn't know that I would be chosen to be a supervisor. That was really a shock as well.
Yeah, that's about the teaching assistant. The good advice I give to people is that you can always learn so much by teaching.
Yeah,
I was always loved to teach. I was a tutor in medical school. I was a chief resident. I was a chief fellow. I've won teaching awards, and I think it really pays you back. Like if you decide to invest time on your trainees, on students, on people around you who are looking to learn the skills that you have, I think it pays back a lot.
It did pay back a lot, and I think your story was also something that encouraged me, since you said you love to teach, and of course there's this proverb where when you water something, you get watered too. So in teaching, like you like
you
learn
grow as
more.
well.
Yeah, you grow, and you meet different concepts. As a TA, people bring so many different ideas, and that cause you to think, well, I never thought this could even be possible. So that was something that I grew much from. I learned from, and it made me grow in that aspect.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm really happy for you. Congratulations, Kangwa. You've done extraordinarily well. And then your goal is to ultimately come to the United States for residency. Is that right?
So yes, it is one of the goals, because in my country, in Azerbaijan, and back home, there's limited growth in terms of professionalism. It's not as effective as it is here or across Europe in some countries. And as a researcher, you make informed decisions. Evidence-based medicine. It's something that is close to you. I want to build it as a culture that grows with you, and not only at the top. When you're very advanced and you're in one field, that's when you know how to refer to evidence-based medicine. So it's something that I want to grow myself, and the platforms like the US or train their doctors to be in very informed. So it's one of the dreams.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. From Zambia to Azerbaijan, then to the United States. Yeah, and certainly your CV, being teaching assistant and having publications, abstracts presented at international conferences, I think will go a long way in that.
Hopefully so, because it's not easy as well.
It's not easy.
As an international,
it's not easy. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
We are in the business of doing hard things. That's where we are. That's what we do.
So there's all these give you some platform to be resilient, to know what you really want, and to go for it. And the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's for sure. Kangwa, congratulations. You've done extraordinarily well. Really happy to have you as a student in the Meta-Analysis Academy, as a teaching assistant, as a supervisor. You're an inspiration to many. One final word from you, like what word of advice would you give for students, maybe internationally, maybe in Africa, maybe in the Far East, people who are interested in having beautiful careers like you, and they maybe are struggling?
Right. You always have to go for it. Anything that you want, any dream is not too big, nothing is too intimidating. If you try, there's always someone willing to help you if you try hard enough. And it's always important to ask questions, ask people who can help you along the way. And have a support group too that helps you find people that can encourage you. And there's always, like I said before, time after finding your reasons, the reasons why you want to do some things, time will come. You create time for the things that are important to you, and you have to go for it with all you have. So it's what I'm doing. I am trying to get there, and a lot of people in the Meta-Analysis Academy, so many doctors are doing something that they never imagined. I was watching one of your podcasts, your MetaCast on Thursdays, I think, one of them, where Plumman was like, he didn't know he could actually do statistics, but he's publishing every 3 weeks.
He's a machine, yeah.
He's a machine,
yeah. He won an award, I think, from the government of Poland.
Wow,
that was Pavel. You were talking about Plumman. Yeah, Plumman done extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
Multiple publications too.
That's inspiring. So you never know what you can do until you try.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, join the Meta-Analysis Academy. Join our wait list. The link will be here below.
True.
Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can listen to great, successful stories like the one from Kangwa. And I hope to see you in future editions of MetaCast and the Meta-Analysis Academy. Kangwa, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Anderson.
All right, see you guys next time.
See you.